we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Anytime where you there, it no matter. Anytime where you be, it no matter. Anything you they do, it no matter. Oh yeah, it no matter. Now we putting up stronger one. Inside Sierra Leone, like a big quantity. We breeze not a shame. TPP TV, Talking Points platform. Then they give you information about salute.
Yes, family, welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kagbo, and today is the 2nd of September 2021. In the program, we get too many issues there where we can try for put on a table and analyze. And we also go get the opportunity for put on a text message on our thoughts in the most respectable manner. The first one for us where they make rounds na the social media, na the issue of KKY, the NGC then leader. We, as from which we understand, in case there are Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, we are the last court of appeal in the country, will make a decision on Friday the 3rd, whether it will lose in seats in parliament or not. That is one. Secondly, a lot of people have been on the calling why ex-president Koroma not speak. Finally, the ex-presidents don't state, don't talk about certain things that would happen at the country where you know glad about or we want to see for me and continue for being the right ship of frame of the interest of the country. Now, for help me talk this talk better one, as usual, I want my colleagues there. Now, I'll bring Mr. Karamoko from the UK. You will greet the people who are listening far and wide.
Good evening, family. Welcome back to TPP.
All right. And we get Dr. Alpha from Ukraine. You will greet the people who are listening far and wide.
Family, to the program.
All right. Now, family, and not forget say you also get the opportunity for watch this program live na YouTube. You just go na TPP Leon, you will able to get this program live. So Facebook, Talking Point platform, as well as YouTube. Now, let me go first to the first thing first. Now, if you can recall, 2018, there was a case between Dr. Fona and Yunkela regarding even the Fatima for be a parliamentarian, even for stand. The case was, according to Dr. Fona, Yunkela not get right for stand for parliamentarian because he get dual citizenship. And the constitution of the country not permit that. This case be gonna court. And out of lengthy battle, we see say the case finally end up in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court, now the last court where you can take a case. And whenever they make a decision there, it becomes final. So we even see how politics they play around. There are two different thoughts. Some people they say now SLPP at this point now they use the court for make sure say this case gets more even weight. While other people they say no. In fact, not to SLPP said can't go this man at court. It was APC where their representative. So meaning, I mean, it depends on the French society map. Now, why this is important? Because if the court found say yes indeed, the man not be eligible or you not be get even right for stand, and that's if a loss in seats. I'm just saying maybe, depending on the court's decision, we will see the first time in the history of the country for the court pull person because of dual citizenship. These are the first step, probably we will get this. And we don't know how this will play in the minds of Sierra Leoneans, how the political environment will be look like if it will create a lot of loophole or it will create a lot of confusion. We don't even understand that make everybody right now they wait for a from the landed people from the Supreme Court waiting will be their decision. Because if KKY then get an off, then the person will be can gonna court when a doctor Fona, most probably maybe they will declare say, okay, now you fit for go serve the remaining 2 years what are left under the term of the 5 years. Now now bring me Karamoko. But you take based on the sentiment where people in the make now social media and other platforms say SLPP get hands in this, but now the preamble of the story that it was not even SLPP, it was APC man that actually took this man to court. What's your take on this?
Okay, now a very good question. So I will like for welcome back the viewers to the program. Well, the case itself now a very sensitive one. It's sensitive in the sense whatever decision the Supreme Court get for make will serve as a president of the country where then we able to use other court then we able to use them for pass other judgments then because they would always refer to her. We so any decision they make, then therefore think about that if he become a president, then other subsequent judge then will always use that day. So a crucial. But what's key about this decision, the case itself, main are the timing always. I always get problem with that day. Now we system na salon. Because probably Dr. Fona, that is Sierra Leonean and legal right for challenge any case. But like the justice system, get one way where they delay things and way they get some serious backlash anyway. Back na society and na the country as a whole. Because let's say the time when the man take the thing up, then for don't try as quick as possible for let them able pass judgment by this thing before the election itself. So the man the way for don't clear, you go know whether it for contest or enough for contest. But if una wait the man don't contest, they don't become duly elected, they don't need a parliament, they don't need it for 3 years, they don't serve, they don't take salary. You understand? Then in people they know him, they recognize and they don't vote on him. Law seems say the judgment not going in favor, they wanna decide for removal. You will start for think about how in the constituency and other constituency get for react to this. Then waiting at the implications there. So all them things there and are things in way I believe so with justice system for. I know they say maybe we're not try out now, but then for the try for the address issues like this way sensitive quick, before people then go ahead because a lot of people then get for begin look at and say, they don't take who that we really actually want for representative or get some kind of political, motive why it happened. So some man will understand the reason behind it. And if you go back to like the TRC report, some of the factors in this will be lead to the rebel war. We not get for the under identity, it can happen like small, they gather. Then it will reach some size, a set of people in the country. Another for this and call camp one, they say, no, there's so much injustice in this country, I will not take her. Because that way in the understander. Say, people in the win elections, they go parliament after 3 years, when I later account like it, and when I remove them. So I believe, say, with justice system, now that they need to look into whenever sensitive matters like this, then come forward, let them try as quick as possible, let them pass verdicts on her, even before the election, for avoid then kind of occurrences in there.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now we come to Dr. Alpha. What now you take based on what people in say? Some people say that SLPP that then they use their own political tool for at least go against KKY because they know say this man that a threat for them. What now you want to take based on this? And the preamble which we understand. Based on who that actually can. What now your take on this?
Well, just like in your opening monologue already, we made for understand saying Dr. Fona, when a member of the All People's Congress, we been petition Dr. Kande Yunkela KKY say eligible for stand because you know meet certain criteria them with regards to these to sim issues and other things. So the angle at which certain people say SLPP is involved unable to get the angle they but be it SLPP, be it APC, be it NGC or whatever party we care another party go court. I want to say now something we allowed that anybody can petition, anybody can go court for challenge something. I mean, that's not absolutely part of democracy. I mean, politics. You deal with numbers, you deal with the law and other things. As long as nobody no court last, or neither nobody not try for influence the decisions of we court them, be it High Court and the Magistrate Court or say Supreme Court when at the highest court. As long as nobody no go coerce them learned justice here and it's absolutely fine if you feel grievances instead of you address them in violent way you go to the court. So I just want to let people know say no matter if na SLPP or na APC carry the case, but in this case we understand na one Dr. Fona when I member of All People's Congress we been on take this case to court, but I wholeheartedly support waiting Mr. Kalmo they say the timing, you know, we hot to learn, we history, we brutal history of civil war, some of the things them, and it's high time we stop for repeat some of those mistakes. I mean, I mean the Supreme Court in my own view, I'm not a lawyer. I believe saying that the courts now the land where they get the less cases. Supreme Court hardly get cases because now big landmark cases, then they go there. The Magistrate Court, High Court, those are court that where them go tell me say them busy that much for 3 years, maybe not able to do something because the truth is we not get enough judges, enough people them for man we court. And the court's not the try over the years, but this na such high profile case where they're not for allowed drag this while. We know democracy is fragile. We know we literacy rate in our country, and we know say people not care for come and read. Almost man will come and read and know the actual things. Anything waiting then tell them they can just go absolutely and go on the rampage and do whatever things they want to do. And also I believe say I see the press release where the court pull say this could day na various media institutions them, which is a step in the right direction. But also I will let them take into cognizance say the constituency where the man come out. Even if it been possible for let them pass message Atina so dominant in that part of Cambia Day, them pass them in the local dialects where people can able understand whether not in favor of Dr. Yonkela or against Dr. Yonkela, but not, I mean, we all know the learned judges here get for come and read big grammar them where other people they know they understand. But they are there to serve Sierra Leoneans, and it's high time we get for curtail with institutions them to the need of the people. And in this time, the people of that constituency they deserve for know and understand well whatever the decisions go, where we not sit down and for talk about that, and we don't know and we know one prejudice the outcome. It's up to the learned judges. Then yeah, we don't get the experience and for such cases for years. So as I say, I wholeheartedly support with they in support with waiting Mr. Kalmo said the timing is too much for drag this case to this long. But anyways, we go continue for learn from this. Hopefully the courts will continue for learn from such, and we all wait in anticipation, waiting will be the outcome tomorrow.
All right. Okay, thank you very much for that short one day. One of the things what we just want to try for join we see whenever opposition party, whenever opposition gets case in a court, we see say most time it can languish, or I mean like it can sluggish, or I mean some form of lethargy in terms of even how they address and happen. Like I mean it's too slow. Look at the case of Kamarimba. You understand? A case where the man don't serve 1 year na prison first, even without even convicted yet. Now, we're not to say he's guilty or not. That's not the point. We look at no more the gravity where the law can put on opposition people. You understand it? And we this is not about only the SLPP. It's about African politics. Now, the democracy what they practice now in Africa is completely different from the democracy they practice now the West. And you see, the president now Africa, the democratic president, he get more power. He almost control every sphere of life, not almost everything, the court, everything, indirectly or directly. Then get power over this. Now, look at this case, like what you talking about, still for just suppress, but get to your point. Look, the timing that is one and the lengthy, why it took so long. And this is not only the opposition party, not so only na KKY, because many other cases in the court where the opposition take. Now court still they're not even church them case in this. I know sometimes I don't know our leaders and they play the mind of the ordinary person. I mean, we need for the land, like what you're talking about, we need for the land from the mistakes there. Because if we keep on repeating the same thing over and over and over, and we expect we'll see different results, then I mean this not nonsensical. I mean, now that make we wait and see how this judgment will happen tomorrow, where the Supreme Court will make a decision on KKY issue, whether it will be a parliamentarian or not. Regardless of the situation, it will come back, you know, probably on Saturday, and tell now waiting the Supreme Court say regarding KKY. But now a case this way very sensitive. It means a lot. A test case for the Supreme Court also, and a test case for democracy. Now test case for institutions there. We want to see whether it really the independent. We want to see how the outcome will come out tomorrow. So we don't delve too much on that because tomorrow will not far. We will know exactly which side the court stand. Now let me come to the other topic where then at the program. The ex-president, President Ernest Koroma, finally don't break in silence. A lot of people and then they ask why this man they talk. People and they even make example of Donald Trump. Say Donald Trump, he just left office 7 months ago, but before it's still a blast now. Okay, in other words, they pinpoint or they submit some of the criticism where he feels say in the current president Joe Biden they go through. And apart from the other people, they even also make reference to Ghana, you know, the same way Nana Akufo begets conflict with his predecessor. I mean, like even back then, people in the sea, the constructive criticism will be come from the opposition side. But again, other people still argue, say the Ernest Koroma not get the points. There is no point for let Ernest Koroma go to come live and just talk because Ernest Koroma gets a party, and the party and right as opposition for let it talk on behalf of everybody. It's not about. But however, looking at the stake where we all as a former president, we see certain time in need. There's a need because I mean, the people who they rule the country now human beings. Like you always, I mean, what are the time for talking? They make mistake. They need person for put them on their toes, for guide them. I mean, for refresh their mind. Maybe so they from their manifesto, from their words, what they say they do for the country, not what they expect them. From what they write now, book and paper say we they do. That number one. And we don't see over the years, in just 3 years plus, state institutions they don't take sides. That's for sure. The level of democracy, the level of tolerance, the level of active civil society will be a reboot back there. We see that they diminish. Either they not talk, or either they take side, or either they keep quiet. So finally, and let's make a press conference now, Makin. We are invite reporters to talk about state institutions and say, therefore be independent. Therefore be independent and therefore work in the interest of the country. Because now will make democracy thrive. Now, what do you take, Kamaroko, when you see for the first time the president? Is it because the president don't they feel, the ex-president don't they feel that the opposition technically from what they see from sources, from social media on the ground, it seems as if the weight of power balancing is moving towards towards the opposition, because now the ordinary man at the ground, social media, everywhere, people and they look at the promises where these presidents don't make, and President Koroma, and then they look at the performance where they perform, the high cost of living, other things, and people and so moved, and some people even compare Zambia, for like the incumbent loss, regardless of the fact that he even made more strides than this current government. And people even make another reference to Donald Trump one time. So, I mean, these are the things like opinion pool where politicians they know better than us, then they psych or then they sniff, they understand. Is it because former president Ernest Koroma, they feel like say maybe the balance of power is shifting from the current government to the opposition in 2023. Now make it feel for talk because it not be the talk all along. It not be the talk all along. But now it feel like say, okay, now I can say something because we can gain strength. What now you take on this?
A very good and interesting question anyway. Well, you made mention of Ghana and America, Donald Trump, them. Like slightly, maybe one just mentioned like there's a bit of difference slightly because in the sense, them people and they like Donald Trump and Ghana, that man have been active politician away one return. Most of the way president don't serve 2 terms, you know, one for, of course, you know, get for serve again. You don't become a statesman now, a respectable man. You sound like referee, you know, to you know for be that active again. You take backstage, you sit down and observe what they happen until it actually begin to go bad. So the timing for like coming and like to me it right. They play that kind of big man, they say, okay, I may don't retire, we don't serve. And I don't intend for run again for president. Rather than one run for president, where they run the party, the affairs of the when an active politician there. Let them they talk. Let them deal with the situation there. You understand? But like if the team don't they go, you know, it don't let's say it don't bad, then now it get worse. You know, as a Sierra Leonean and as a father figure to the nation, a right for let it go come in, you know, it tap the man where they in charge or a reminder and say, me man, now so this country they go. They actually they go bad. Institutions and will be non try for let them be independent, way and for be effective, let them help for me. When I don't compromise them, now then they just you know go one way. They even don't know waiting right or fear anymore in the country. So I believe say that timing they it wait for. You understand? Say, okay, I will count that end because it remain for be a member of a political party, not in all one with Andy. Because all like other ex-president, they normally say they retire from you know party politics or they're not associated to them political party again. But just that they become kind of inactive. You know, and they become like advisors them, and I believe say more or less that the former president Koroma don't do all these things. But you look and say, now my responsibility, you know, things the way good, let us say good work the way me don't do, strides the way we don't make, you know, investment then things the way, you know, like this time me baby was born, I don't mean a lot they go, I left I don't they go well, but now it don't they go the wrong way. And when they go the wrong way, the masses they suffer, the people they suffer, I mean fellow Sierra Leoneans, just like me, and I care about them. So I think say a right now I can't talk regardless, you know, which waiting at the risk waiting will be because I put on that we go African democracy, it sort of get a lot of risk way you talk against, you know, the government of the day, like you mentioned Cameroon in your case, then can just probably you just arrest you for no reason or then set you up, then detain you without, you know. So sometimes you think about all lengthing and day when you want come in and for talk, you think say, oh, you know, this talk where I go and talk, it carry a lot of risk. So why for even get me involved? But it thought and say, yeah, it necessary no come in because with people that they suffer, you know, economic hardship day and they see much progress. La talk, probably this talk will bring a bit of change. Or it will remind, you know, that they're in charge, or it will just click their mind and tell them, say, bo, no, we do few things and right, we go better with people there, with fellow Sierra Leoneans then, because no Sierra Leonean know not to a Sierra Leonean more than the other one. You know, in other words, we all equal, regardless whether they're in our power, whether in our position, or whether they from the north or whether they from the west. Sierra Leonean and Sierra Leonean all get equal right before the law anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I don't buttress you.
Yeah. No, I think so. Now the key point and the way we just want to make on like in timing way, and when if you say they come in, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome, Abdullahi Kamara. He's watching from the Gambia. Okay, welcome. And let me go to you, Alpha. What's not your own take regarding the timing? Because we see even the ACC where a lot of people have faith in. When this government take power, we support. Personally, we support. Some of us, we are excited because we want to make sure, say yes, indeed, those people who are making Sierra Leonean to suffer, they should pay a higher price. I mean, just for discourage thieving, embezzlement, and just for put shame on them. For say, if they entrust you with the affairs of the country, now out of respect, because not we all get for go sit on them places and they we get for look one person say, okay, if now this man can remember let's sit if now Alpha let's sit if now Mohammed let's sit now that's make we elect to them. But not big responsibility. But you find out say some people, as soon as they get them position, they throw their integrity away. I mean, then they sell everything. I mean, they're not just care. I mean, it's so sorry that even state institutions, they will be abopa with Sisina, then they go down the drain. The thing there, I mean, look the case of the SLBC. The SLBC now, then they accuse them of completely abandon the opposition. One of these days, are they hearing from the spokesperson of APC, where the blast Eunice Yaya Tunis, where they blast radio democracy, where 98.1, where they say for more than come, they don't make many attempts for more than give them year time. They know they get it, you understand? And these are now state institution, you know. Now the country then get that. These are for everybody, not to the ruling party no more. They know they get that. You know, like you look at they know they function out and for function because then they give too much time. We know as the government, the current government get the right for out some of them programs. But I mean, if we want to democracy function well, then for allocate certain time specifically on the opposition. Because I know say opposition are part of the government. They are not enemies, you know. Because if then they make constructive criticism, now for the interest of the entire country. I feel say within the heart, SF1 the good part of the country for even move forward. Yes, look at the NRA, how they sort of mess them up with even people that will not qualify. I mean, it's just too painful. I mean, look at the way STC they handle cases. Now you hear about this case between we Chancery. We have one of the hosts where government of Salom pulled more than 3 million for renovates. If not because of Africanist press, we not for even a press conference. And today we see a press conference from the ACC boss regarding that. And now they are because of pressure. I mean, no, look. It's too much. It's too much. What do you think? Before we come to the text there, we're on the kind side. What's not going to take regarding the state institution? Because the president, ex-president, said they are not functioning. If they are not functioning, then we are compromising our democracy.
Well, I think with regards the timing, I think Mr. Kagmodo allude to some of the points they were totally in agreement with, but it's a complex of things. For me, I believe say not to just maybe one reason. I mean, we're not a magician here, you know, we can just analyze, but I believe say a complex of reason to make the the ex-president maybe think for talk now. Of course, Pakagmo been already saying a statement, but also we take into recognition she is still the leader of the opposition. We mean say again for support the government when the government needs support, because I mean government now we all na salon get them, if you then do well for we all. At the same times again for play the role of constructive criticism, checks and balances with against the government, therefore be voicey for us. Outside they know say the government they perform negative excesses and what have you. So but for a while now a lot of don't they ask like, he is the leader of the opposition. It's either he resign and be a full statesman, or he give voice, because now Africa we know say no matter how government and try for do things, African government will always have excesses. It's almost, I don't want to say now we nature, God forbid, but now we get a tendency in Africa for create so much excesses. So I believe say there is this saying, a house divided on itself cannot stand. You get for take notice also, it's not a secret, say the All People's Congress don't they get infighting. Take now the NRM saga, the different factions of flag bearership. So I think say all in disarray and they will be there, even not to make the opposition be united. Because I mean, if una no united, yes, the pan a big political figure, but you got other people and they will instead need them backing, need their input. But if everybody they pull here, I mean, it's difficult. But I think saying convention is getting clear in nearer. Then don't they settle things with NRM, certain factions, and don't they come together. So it almost seems like to some extent the party don't they coalesce within themselves, and then the project with the confidence, maybe even the power will come out and speak, because he's a statesman, but Naina still leader of the opposition. 3 years, if certain things, them institutions, them as he say in the engagement with the government, it's high time if we don't say them, but it's better late than never, because as a nation, we always need a viable opposition. So for me, I believe in a complex of the issue. And just lastly, say also, if you like, you want to call them harassment, you understand? Government of the day in Africa is always government of the day, no matter how big the opposition gets and how many millions of people they can get. Government of the day in Africa always they able to use state institutions they're against you, and we all know say some form of harassment or whatever term you go give them, it be the face. So it's a complex of issue, but I think saying a benefit of the nation when we get a viable opposition where they speak out for the masses and compete with the government. I mean, with in terms of politics, in terms of numbers and what have you, because we don't want anything violence. But we just lastly about the state institutions, them, and you mentioned, for example, SLBC. I think Pascal he hopes to do more, because these allegations don't they go around say then they monopolize the SLBC for only the ruling class, the ruling party. Initially, I think where them been promoted, and I think Director General I watched several programs when we in offenses host with different strides of the oppositions we are there. But maybe somewhere along the line operate in such way, and as you already alluded, SLBC now we all own. So I believe for say if we democracy get for thrive, you therefore create the enable environment for like the SLBC way now we all property for function well and every voice be heard.
All right, thank you very much. We got some few texts there. We on cam. Let me just take them. Welcome Dolly Tyrali. We say they watch from London. Okay, you're welcome. They're very regular at this platform. And we also get a text come up from Issa Bangura. We say, gentlemen, can you explain to me the word austerity? Secondly, ex-president being the leader and chairman of the opposition, not in active politics. It asks a question. I think Koroma, if you mention something like this, if you get time, you go maybe help this gentleman waiting, because austerity, you want to know waiting and they mean. And again, we get okay, this one they come up from Abdullah Kamara, with his successful governments always work with the opposition and push away tribal business, which is good. We agree with you that make we try to talk about good governance, time for we have get a formidable opposition, so that at the end of the day, then we'll always remind or push or support the government in power. Let the right man be at the right place, no square pegging round holes. Because salon, if you point out where all this suffer, regard whether you get salon, not the salon, no, this is just something we cannot kick off from our mind. No way, nowhere. Even if you get green card, whatever, any. I mean, it's just part of us, especially we don't go old, or we don't mature now before we left there, we come overseas. We still they follow up with the happen. Because at the end of the day, people are needy. So if they continue the sweets, it affects you indirectly. You know what they do physically. Okay. You go say, okay, I get me basic now, okay, life not bad for me. But I mean, those people where you care about so much, if then they suffer, now you didn't go for now you go feel the heat, and you get for run to attend them, because there is a mutual bond between you and them. So that I make with the tribe best at least for contribute to nation building. For at least we get the basic. I mean, Sierra Leoneans, we don't talk about Boku. They are not asking for much, just the basic necessities, basic light, water, road. Provide job for the people there. People are not want all-time government, because one minister today, na social media, then they go and share breast to people, one bag rice with one small rubber of oil. They say this trusted process. This, I mean, this is not just way of wasting state resources. That is one, or playing on the minds of the people. I mean, if you get up us one bag rice with oil, how much you think say this thing will last? No, probably just a month at most, or maybe a week, or depending on the size of that family. At the end of the day, the people will stay of their hunger. I'm going to look at sustainable thing, provide sustainable mechanism, create an enable environment wherein somebody can wake up in the morning and then go to work, able for can feed himself or feeding family. I mean, so you go help this gentleman we want to know within austerity.
Yeah, well, okay, because I mentioned two things and then talk about like the active. Yeah, ex-president Komana, the chairman and leader of the party, but it would be very, absurd or odd for let them see if they run like any frontline politician being, every excess, of the government of the day very active. They make, what I mean. Then say if for resign, I would done an own decision and a decision to party if one for be that active. But I believe say will still be like chairman then, because I know they run for president again. But you want the young folks then, I believe say that na my own understanding of active austerity more or less, because this operation they don't talk about a lot, and probably they make that young man go. Now measures then we government they take more or less for control then spending. Normal. Like, okay, we know they earn enough, or the revenue they already get enough. So make we put now like hard economic decisions and we government they take. Not of us say like that, but it ain't more on the government itself. Say, low we cut down we expenses or we expenditure on our most other areas because we know they earn enough. That austerity mean. So, but a lot of times, it don't make Sierra Leoneans they don't confuse it. They tell like, okay, you bring austerity for bring hardship per way. For example, if let's say like Salon, before the APC been left power, because the government of they always talk about. What's in big after the Ebola surge, hardship be done the economy shrink badly, what I mean? No other progress no be. Now the thing I remember where the APC come and say, okay, now, for example, you can able say every government official where they travel for go abroad, not they travel again at first class. You understand? Because like first class they cost $3,000. So like government they spend too much. But now even if you're not a government officer, you want travel, you will travel in a third class. You know what I mean? Economy just like any other person. So we they save on their expenses and then like you per diem then where they give you, then you able cut small per day. You can able look the number of police and where we get at the country. You say Salon to country get so much crime, then why would they spend for recruit more policemen then? You able downsize the police then you save on the inside and you can able look the kind of vehicle then because it's very, very unfair for low get place like low get slum na salon like then they exist. Then government they get the guts for go buy 50,000-60,000 SUV motorcar then for give ministers and you can able come forward, you get all your ministers and anybody who wants to serve government as minister. I been 200 with the give like official vehicle. I want to take measure which is normal. We don't know what for serve left hand. But instead of spend 56,000 motorcar of that kind cost, would they give you small motorcar the rest of this
I don't know what you want, but take time old.
Yeah. How I know
I'm going to chase you. I'm going to chase you.
Yeah, our identity me I'd always talk for let salon progress. Now that way we need for run salon for at least 10 years. We need for make politics say politics for be very, very for be that attractive. Low take, for example, I take I bring her into like the West, you understand it? You look footballers, for example, Raheem Sterling will take like 300,000 per week. The Prime Minister of UK in annual salary now it's 300,000 a year.
Norwich.
A year. Now they tell you the whole year. What thing I'm Sterling they get per 1 week. The Prime Minister in UK know they get them for the whole year. So you don't need for people Prime Minister for let you enjoy where you did now. The money that they pay the medical doctor, where they say you are full medical doctor now UK, it and just like in fact, the doctors say they and pass the member of parliament there. So therefore left you medical profession for that you go on for be MP now when you in England. Because therefore make you for be rich. They get more money out of Dandy. You go only go on like politician because you want serve. You don't understand it. Therefore go like city bankers and they earn like 6 figures there. If you become city banker now, you work now the city. So therefore go resign, you say till I go be MP. Because you will better, you will prosper in life, you don't need for be politician. So more or less, we need that kind of system in our salon. Jobs and for the they pay pass. In fact, people they get more benefits than they will pass for be minister. So when you want to be minister, you want to come into politics, now thing where you volunteer for do because you think say you want to make a change, you want to make your country, not to forget and enrich yourself. So I don't think that will ever be issue if they say, okay, we need to buy $50,000-$60,000 SUV for minister there. Now I bench 200, everybody they get.
Then go hate you.
Yeah, then they're going to save. Now the austerity, then they will save that money. Then go boost other sectors in the economy, then go use that money, then go create jobs there. Then we will count with the basic social amenities and where we need as human being. When we're entitled and we right. You understand? Like I meet somebody once in the try for tell me say we rights and not to thing where then they give we born with them, we own them. Not to they give somebody in rights. Say that will belong you now, but who rights and make no, not to they give person in rights. A born he get an in rights. They give now you can take her away from the people there. But that concept say no, they give them rights to they give them then concept there. I say even wrong. So I don't see how we need for look into. So not to be like to me personally, when I look at them because I give quick example like for the austerity where David Cameron, the conservative government, where he take over na England, where take over Gordon Brown. You understand? The Labour government, everybody know that na immigrants party, and then they spend more on social, they spend more. But where David Cameron and now austerity then puts na UK. Now the time ever where the UK economy been grown than any other time in the history of this country, they're able to pay all them debts then. They're able to get enough, the economy boom, the country better. So austerity, they able make it ain't make country poorer, it only able to make country prosper. Because government just need for control in excess spending the way they do. I mean, not spend but foolishly for the minister there. Posh quarter, then get air conditioner, give them generator, if lights more, you just spend unnecessary for make people then few people then elites in the country get comfort where the masses they suffer. Just control the money. I mean, control what you spend. That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we get some texts about text with the car back. Another one, they come up from Dolly Tarawali, who they say, my brother, this is what I've been talking about. Our politicians, they have no respect for the people that are voting them into power. Rice is not an option to help our people. Very disrespectful to our country. Yeah, that is one. And we get another one where they come up from Isaiah Komba Daniel, where they say the bread and butter issue is very important, but the reason why people are petrified is due to tribes and confiscation of goods at the Sierra Leone Port Authority. The deep water key in Freetown is a total mess for exporting goods to Sierra Leone. Now, again, we will tap some of the text here. We get a lot of text incoming here. All right, yes. Doc, what now you take based on these two texts? How you go throw in one they talk about, yes, it's shameful that we need to talk about importing rest, for even be not a subject to for even discuss about, but shamefully we discuss matter because the people who are voting, then they let down the masses. And somebody they asks about, you get the concept now, when they talk about the bread and butter issue. What now you take?
Well, I think the rest issue, not so the first that we don't address even that one then at this platform. Over $200 million or so of rice where we import now we country. That kind of money then a money where we can invest into machinery. We get fertile land. See, we get loads of people that we get agricultural science degree in a place the way you can give them more exposed training alongside the farmers them and make something. But I think I don't know that Tomabom then call the place of it, and I cannot remember the exact name. We all the open place say let that project they become successful and it grow. Let it not be another like ghost project as it is for the Bina Salon. But I think say with the kind of land where we get and weather where we get, I think say it's high time we enlarge growing capabilities of rice in other country. So we go get food security, that we will feed the young people them, and time go come where it's not only about feeding ourselves, we go be self-sufficient, but we can able export. Then go to we neighbor them bring come the needed revenues where we go able invest into other social programs the way they better the life of the Sierra Leoneans. As for the bread and butter issues, it don't make any sense you take oil and yes, you give somebody, yes, I'm not a good gesture, but how many days it go last? Yes, sometimes for that day the person too desperate and angry, he able go cooking la fide and eat another day. Then after that, and so what? Large family, then you get for take care of your wife, you picking them, then they need better life, better opportunities. For me, I can always say the bread and butter issues not the country. Now for make sure say you create equal opportunities for the people. You not go guarantee equal outcomes, but equal opportunity. What I mean by that, there are schools that pick away in a village yonder, then get where you go school for them at the village, where you go school, book lady, chair the day for let sit down. Then they pay the teacher them well where they teach them picking and they so them go able to deliver quality education to them picking and they if they finish even in secondary school, not to pass you can free tongue for can college you say no get nobody, but if na kono a grow up and born in a village, at least let no go for inside kono do let university the way it go able to study. You don't give that person the opportunity to live better in life. But not to only pambuklaning. We able to attract investors them. We can bring investments that the country young man them can able to take up certain skill jobs. You understand? So it's incumbent also on the government because you're not able to employ a job for everybody, but make sure say sensitizations program then day technical university and colleges or apprenticeship where somebody no need pass read book and this, but apprenticeship you encourage young man in our base, let them do certain apprenticeship and able cajole investors then for come for let people and get job. If somebody get job, he get opportunity for let pay for him picking a school, not to pass he can go private school. He get job, he dey eat, he dey take care of him family. For me, these are bread and butter issues, not to pass you give somebody rest or per mind or what have you directly. The bread and butter issues, as you can always emphasize now, we don't need much, we just need the basics. So all them basic then they for me now, they make always they consider say the bread and butter issues na salon.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen. Time on the catch we now, and if you just join we this now the program Komon-Tok, and today we look at too many issues. First, KKY, the leader of the NGC, the Supreme Court will make a decision tomorrow, 3rd of September, whether if we retain in position as MP or therefore take him out from MP, because then we get a case between one Dr. Fona, we take him on a court. So we want to see how that case day will happen tomorrow. Again, the ex-president, President Koroma, don't finally speak after he left power for the first term, where at least he talk about state institutions and for being independent. So if you just join me, these are the things we don't talk about. And again, you will get opportunity for watching again at YouTube at TPP Leon. So tell them plenty thank you for not text them for Leonard to up to this point, and very hopeful once the decision is been made once the decision made tomorrow, we will come back and tell them exactly what the decision is all about. So gentlemen, do you have anything you want to go and put before we say goodbye now? Want to go add anything?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
for
say we
me,
don't.
oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go. I will say we don't
Go
talk,
ahead,
you
go
know,
ahead.
on all. Yeah, we don't talk on all the issues. Not like you know, the last topic I just talk. I believe say that are something any politician will go and succeed in Sierra Leone, you get for looking to. I will just make more impact. Me always my vision for Sierra Leone than
Okay.
they don't make politics so much
Attractive.
attractive.
Attractive,
Yeah, yeah. For let people they enrich themselves. You see engineers they left. If the engineer they make more money, you don't need for come into politics. A well paid pass the politician, a better person, the doctor they get a better life. Okay. You know, the teacher get a good average life. Lecturers and fine. These are, you know, low creates that balance and stop for the make resources and so much available to politicians and everybody don't say announce it, you know, it's in I under no more now for Jensky. Now they quick Jensky. And at the give this example, you know, ever come at the give example because at the live in the UK, you know, you can never hear and say the ex-prime minister na UK, na the richest man na UK, or they get money. In fact, they're not able they able buy us cash. They mortgage like any one of we, they pay for a small over 10 or 20 years period, like any other professional. Before they become prime minister or even after we they don't left. They become that rich. So no reason for everybody want for going to politics. I will just end that so till we can again next time we'll go with more topics and for talk on.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, you anything for add?
Yeah, with me, I will say with regards to the Dr. Yonkela Kekewa in case tomorrow, we can always urge people them for if you get time, watch the Supreme Court's decision. I believe say AYV and other channel then get for sure. Understand within the judges then get for say. Or I believe say the court self could put press release after that. Always make sure say you equip yourself with knowledge with the real stuff. Not just people anybody can talk or write, fake blog them and cause chaos and pandemonium and confusion. Make sure say you yourself get the information firsthand from the judges you go available online instead of take fake news and we all create until we meet again next time on Atata.
Okay, Fambule, we turn up plenty. Thank you and bye-bye till we meet again.